Hello, everybody. Happy Palm Sunday. Hi, Instagram fans, Facebook fans. I'm waiting for people to come up. Hello, how are you? Hiya, it's me again. Sorry, I'm here late today. Hello, my Instagram faithfuls. How are you? Facebook faithfuls, how are you? I'm really so sorry I'm coming in very late. Hello, Kessa Davis Abiodun. How are you today? How are you? Happy Palm Sunday. I hope you all had a lovely, lovely Sunday. I had a very stressful one. I just got to Scotland from London. Doris Bola, Emmanuel, how are you? I'm so sorry for coming on late. I'm supposed to be here exactly 8 p.m. Apparently, I just drove for over 6 hours. I'm so exhausted right now, but I just have to keep the date and, keep to my promise of always being here 8 p.m. to 11. Thank you very much, OGT Studios. Thank you. Thank you, Abiba, Abimbola, Allen Suleiman. Hello, I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, Doris. I'm fine. Mika, Miss Radiant, and Michael. I'm sorry, I didn't get that right. Tame Eunice. Omongumi. You people with these your funkified names. It really gets to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm just waiting for my usual favorite. Hello, Instagram. Hello. I hope I'm not looking so stressed out. I've been on the road for over almost 7 hours. I just got to Scotland, to Glasgow precisely from London. I'm tired. My legs are aching. But I just gotta make it a date. Hello, Moba Olajumoke Koka. How are you? Osinachi Gifted. How are you? Good evening. How you doing? Hello. You miss me. Hello, how are you? Lasisi Folashade. Hello. So now what I'm gonna do, usually I'm here for the first timers on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always live every Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11. And what we do here is just to encourage one another. Thank you, Taiwo. It's just to encourage one another, talk about relationships, way forward, how to sort of keep our relationships healthy, happy. Nicely, thank you. You like my golden hair. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Olayinka, how are you? How are you, Olayinka? Thanks for joining me again. I'm sorry for coming late. I'm really so sorry, African woman. But apparently I have a wonderful excuse. I've been on the road driving. I just drove from London to Glasgow and I'm so tired. And I just got here like about 15, 20 minutes ago. So, but I just have to make it a date. Thank you very much. Thank you, Olayinka. Thank you, everybody on Instagram and on Facebook. I hope everybody can see me clearly and hear me loud and clear. Okay, happy Palm Sunday to everybody. Hello, Akonde Olubukolami Fazia. Is it Fazia? Hello, Damila Deshe Ola Mother Princess Toyi Adeleye Kolade Arewa. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Happy Palm Sunday. Now, today, what we'll be discussing today, two things. First, last week, somebody asked me why I don't use jewelry. Okay, somebody was, wanted to know why I don't use jewelry. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about, probably to encourage one or two people. What's the topic for today? So the topic for today, we're taking into two sections. Okay, the first one, I know my Instagram fans, they already know it already, but just for my Facebook fans, why don't I use jewelry? First off, this is a testimony, it's a personal testimony, and I would like everybody to know and appreciate that it is a personal decision. It's got nothing to do with religion. It's got nothing at all to do with my faith, okay? Contrary to a lot of opinion that I don't use jewelry because I attend a particular church or because I'm a member of a particular gathering or union, and that is a capital no. I do not use jewelry, not because of my religious faith. It's got nothing to do with my faith. I love jewelry. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it on people. I love it when I see it. But this was just a personal decision I made years ago. Okay, I'm going to share my testimony. Maybe it's going to encourage one or two people. Okay. Now, I remember I got married 2007, years back, 2007. And immediately after my wedding, you know, this our usual African and Nigerian way, you know, I wanted to have babies ASAP. It was get married and start making babies and having children and start up my family. But God will have it, the babies weren't coming. The baby went coming. Please, everybody, help me share. If you're on Facebook, remember to share, so people will know I'm live on Facebook. Thank you. So I continue. So I wanted to have babies, but it wasn't coming. My husband and I, we wanted to start having children ASAP, but it wasn't coming. And I wasn't really thinking much about it. Not until a year after my marriage, almost a year, you know, probably because of the nature of my job. A lot of news started to fly around. I started to read a lot of things about myself on social media, and it really broke my heart at the time. And, you know, people started to speculate so many things, different things. Oh, she can't have children. She's unable to have children. She's aborted all her pregnancies. She's done this. She's done that. Then I remember traveling to Nigeria at the time, 2008. And I just bought a newspaper and I read it. And the so-called soft cell newspaper was saying, I'm in Nigeria. I'm sleeping from one church to the other, looking for the fruit of the womb. All these things really broke my heart. It really, because that wasn't true. Nobody cared to, you know, there were so many. My in-laws weren't giving me headache. My husband wasn't giving me any headache. My family, they weren't giving me any headache at all. But apparently a lot of fans, wonderful fans, you know, journalists, people who just wanted to sell stories started to insinuate and just, you know, cook up stories about me not having children. And it really began to get to me. And it actually got to me so hard that I sort of almost became depressed at the time. You know, it put a lot of pressure on me. I was only married for a year, a little bit over a year. I wasn't even married for 5, 10, 15 years, you know. So apparently, so I started to pray, and I started to do the only thing I knew I could do. That was pray and fast and, you know, attend church programs and all that. But still, the pregnancy wasn't coming, okay? Hello, Doya Kombi, how are you? How are you? This is my testimony, why I do not use jewelry. I'm simply saying this to the world because somebody last week asked me why. Okay, that's why I'm saying this loud and clear and directly from the horse's mouth today. Again, I'll repeat, it's got nothing to do with my religious faith. It's got nothing to do with any doctrine. I am not one of those people who believe it is a sin to wear jewelry. I love it. I love it on people. I really appreciate it. It's beautiful. I know and I believe it enhances the beauty of whoever wears the jewelry. Okay? So please, I'm not a member of any gathering or any union, religious organization or union that does not use jewelry. I love jewelry, okay? So now, back to my testimony. I started to attend church programs. I started to pray and fast. You know, I did a lot. And yet, the baby wasn't coming, okay? So in 2009, I got married in 2007. 2009, it was like I'd had enough because I've struggled to get pregnant from 2007. The news, you know, everything, it wasn't, the negativity wasn't going away, and I was really getting depressed. My husband, God bless him so much, he was really there for me. He tried his best to sort of calm me down, encourage me, but I just wasn't having it. And I remember going to church one day, and this minister came. He was a guest minister at the church I used to go then. And this church minister came. Then you are blessed with beauty. God bless you. Anyway, so this church minister came and he was saying something, you know, this sermon. You know, sometimes when preachers preach, you just grab onto something and you hold onto it. And I remember him saying, you know, sometimes when you want to, you're requesting a huge thing from God, you need to make a sacrifice. You need to sacrifice huge, you know, something huge, that, you know, for you to get a huge thing from God. And he gave an example of, so many examples. I remember vividly, he gave an example of Abraham at the time that actually was ready to give up his only son, even the promise, not his only son, but the promised child at the time, just because of his faith. And I just held on to that. And I went back home without even my husband's consent. What of MFM people? I'm not against any, somebody just asking me what of MFM people, they don't wear jewelry. I'm not against any religious gathering or doctrine or any religious organization that do not wear jewelry. I'm just saying this is a personal decision. I love jewelry. I love people who wear jewelry. I do not believe it affects your faith with Christ or with God in any way. Okay, this is just my own personal testimony, and it could be of blessing to somebody. And because somebody actually asked me about it last week. So I'm taking my time out to explain to people. Thank you, Temitope Eunice. So now I went back home after the sermon and I actually prayed. I didn't even do a lot. I didn't really fast so much. I stopped fasting a long time ago because it was really, so I didn't fast anymore. I just prayed to God and I said, okay, God, I wasn't even thinking, you don't need your, thank you, Jacobi. So I wasn't even thinking. I just said, God, you know what, give me a male child. If you can give me a son, I promise you. So I paused and I looked at myself. What is that thing that I feel is so huge? That thing I feel like it will really cost me a lot to give, to hand over as my sacrifice. I didn't have a lot of money. What kind of money? How much will I give God? I'm not one of those people who believe take money, take it to the church, blah, blah, blah. I've done that in the past. I'm way past that, and I just felt to myself, what is that thing that I feel is so huge? I cannot do without. It's going to be difficult for me to hand over. It's going to be very difficult for me to do without. And lo and behold, the only thing at the time was my jewelry. I was not too much into makeup. I've never been. It is now that I'm really trying to, be posh and be good with my makeup. I've never really been a wonderful makeup or hair person, okay, or fashionista, so to speak. But my jewelry was so important. I remember those days I used to travel all the way to Dubai to go shop, go to Dubai. Not for anything, not for holiday. I'll just go on a Friday and come back on a Sunday because I'm going to buy jewelry for myself. At the time. So I just, my jewelry. If I was going outside and I forgot to wear my earrings or something, I would rush back inside. I can go out without my makeup. Several times I've gone out without my makeup. I can go out without my hair done. I can go out without actually dressing up for an occasion. But my jewelry. Hello, Esther. Happy Palm Sunday. God bless you. So my jewelry, just sharing my testimony, just to recap, please help me share this video. We don't know who might be blessed from this testimony. Please share. So I looked and I said, okay, God, give me a male child. I need it ASAP. I just need to shut the mouth of people. Okay, I just need to shut their mouth. They're really getting to me. It's affecting me negatively. I'm getting depressed. My husband, my home is not happy. I've just newly married and I should be enjoying my marriage. They're putting a lot of pressure on me. And I said, God, if you give me a male child, you know what? Give me a male child, make me pregnant, and in whatever way you want to do it, and I'm going to give up my jewelry for you. I wasn't even thinking, sometimes you make prayer, you're so desperate, and I wasn't really thinking so deep about what I was saying. I would just say, God, I will do away with my jewelry. I'll do away with all the gold, whatever I have. Thank you, Olajumoke Duro Sola. Thank you, Happy Palm Sunday, Chai. Do talk, she do keep quiet and extremely serious in church. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. I said, okay, you know what? I am going to do away with jewelry. Give me this pregnancy, and not only make me pregnant. I want to have a male child. I actually want to have a male child because according to what I've been told in church and what I've read, this is what I want. I don't want a female child. I actually want a male child as my first child. And I want it now. And that was it. Lo and behold, 2 months or a month thereabout down the line, pregnancy came. So I got pregnant. It was like, it was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. So I got pregnant, and as God will have it, to God be the glory, God saw me through the 9 months. It didn't come without his own, difficulties and all that. But God just saw me through everything. And I had Samuel. I had my Erimini Oluwa, that's my lovely champ, Samuel. So I now said, even through my pregnancy, one of the testimony, thank you very much, thank you. Please, thanks, you're welcome. Please share. You don't know who might be blessed. But again, I repeat, I do not wear jewelry. My not wearing jewelry is a personal decision. I am not against people who wear it. I am not against churches who wear it or religious organization who wear it. I love it. I used to really, really love it. It used to be like one thing I could never do without. But to me, having a child at the time, even now, it's way more important to me than jewelry. And the only thing I felt at the time I could give up and would really cost me so much, it should really cost me, was, my jewelry. That was why I gave up jewelry. And since then, since 2000 and I stopped wearing jewelry before I even had Samuel. That was, I stopped 2000. I got pregnant 2009. I had Samuel 2010. Okay, so I stopped wearing jewelry 2009. I remember the first few weeks was tough, even with my husband. My husband didn't like it. He's not that kind of guy. He loves a woman that would, and don't forget that when I was saying my prayer, when I was communicating with God, I didn't involve him. I didn't even let him know what I was doing. So I had to sort of sit him down and let him know. People would see me and say, you look sick, you look ill, you look that, you look that. But a lot of people have gone past. People don't even notice I don't wear jewelry anymore. So, and I don't even miss it. I've got no reason to miss not wearing jewelry. I don't miss it. I've been able to save a lot of money. I hope when the pregnancy, you didn't act like you were in film of me. Anyway, I still use jewelry in my films, because it's obviously not me. It's me being somebody else. Samuel is a covenant child. Of course he is. My children, David is a covenant child as well. So as God we have it, since 2009 till date, I have not worn jewelry apart from my wristwatch and my wedding band. That's about the only jewelry you can see on me. I don't do piercing. Not that I don't like it. I love it. I love piercing for people who have the heart to do it. I love piercing. I love jewelry. But unfortunately, I have to sacrifice. When am I coming to Houston? Very soon. So I have to sacrifice, that was about my ultimate sacrifice to God. And God actually, Jejelai, and God actually did. He proved himself worthy. So sometimes, and that is what I've learned over the years, and that's how I've been, my relationship with God has been. A lot of times when I'm in difficulty or I'm stressed and so many things are not just going right. Thank you very much, Queen. What a great sacrifice. Thank you very much. And, a lot of times, we all have our moments. Because I've tried it while I was looking for the fruits of the womb and it worked, I still try to give. I don't give. It necessarily does not have to be financial or monetary sacrifice. You can, if you have it, you feel you can have it. I believe God has the answers for everything. Sometimes it just takes us to sort of give to receive. I think the natural law of nature is give and receive. Sometimes it works a lot. When you give, you receive. Okay, so please share this video. I hope it encourages one or two people. Don't say because Ope does not wear jewelry, then your own will be jewelry. Your own could be anything. It could be your time. It could be your time. It could be your a kind of what do you call it? Addiction. You could have some sort of addiction that you feel you can't do without. Could be money, could be anything at all, anything. So that's my testimony. And as God will have it again, when I had Samuel, I actually had Samuel February 2010. So my plan and my intention was to breastfeed him for a whole year, win him off breastfeeding January 2011. But when I think in November, in November 2010. I wasn't seeing my period, and I wanted to have another baby ASAP, because I was scared of the long wait again. I thought if I don't work towards having another child ASAP, I might get a bit of delay, like I did. You didn't even notice, Ronke, God bless you. Like I did with before Samuel. So I went to my GP. I'm like, oh, doctor, I want to get pregnant, blah blah blah, and he asked me, oh, when is your next cycle? I'm like, oh, I've not even started to menstruate and all that. And he said, oh, are you still breastfeeding? I said, yes. And he said, some people, it's just a natural body, but family planning, if you don't stop breastfeeding, you don't get to see your period. And obviously without your period, then you cannot, get pregnant. So I stopped breastfeeding Samuel. I stopped breastfeeding him in November. So I saw my period in December. So in January, I didn't see my period. In February, I didn't see my period. I became very jittery. I was like, oh my God, have I reached menopause? What's happening? So I went back to my GP. I'm like, oh my God, I think something is wrong with me. By the time I didn't know, me too, I got pregnant after 5 months during breastfeeding. So I didn't know I was pregnant again. So as God will have it, I was pregnant with David, and I had the 2 lovely champs that God has blessed me with now. Okay, so that's my testimony. That's my testimony. So hopefully I've been able to sort of encourage 1 or 2 people who are looking unto God for so many things, different things. Yours might not be the fruit of the womb. It might be job. It might be anything. It might be a career. It might be joy and happiness in your relationship, in your marriage. Whatever that situation is, God is able. Okay? Now, happy Palm Sunday again to everybody. It's almost over. And so today, usually I come on thank you everybody, thank you everybody on Instagram, thank you my fans on Facebook, thank you for listening to my testimony, thank you for being encouraged, and please share. Okay, let me start with Ronke. You never notice. Ribi Jesu by hello, sir, hello you. So now today, usually I come on Sundays 8 p.m. to 11. And why do I come on? I've been doing this on Instagram for a while now, and the outpour of love has been wonderful. Last week, my very first Facebook Live, it didn't start on well. But today, I've got my husband on hand, and he helped me out. Now, everything is okay. God bless him. So today, usually I come on, and it's just us to reason together and talk on, encourage ourselves, how to move our relationship further, happier, healthier. Okay, as my motto in a relationship is relationship, whatever that relationship is, relationship with anybody, love relationship, platonic relationship, cordial relationship. Relationships are not meant to be endured, they are meant to be enjoyed. That is my motto of life. Wonderful testimony. Thank you, AIYEOLA or Notola. Thank you, me, you are lucky man. Of course, thank you, everybody. So relationships are meant to be enjoyed and not endured. So I usually come on every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 11. And what do I come to do? As God will have it, my marriage is 10 years plus now. I've known one man for over 11 years. Okay, so it's just I'm a bit experienced in the area of relationship and marriage. And I've gone through a lot, like a lot of people are going through right now. Mine might not be, bad, but at least I'm in a relationship. We just come here, reason together, encourage one and another so we can move on positively in our relationship. Folly P. Benro Taufik, love your motto. Thank you very much. Ogusoya, I love you so much. Thank you, love you too. Love you everybody on Instagram, love you everybody on Facebook. So today I've decided that we'll talk about cheating in relationship. Okay, that is it's like a common thing that breaks a lot of homes, breaks a lot of relationship, can go toxic, make a relationship toxic. Cheating in relationship. So now, why do men cheat? Why do women cheat? What can we do? What are the signs to know if your partner is cheating? How can you help the situation? And what can we do? So this is not just about, I know I'm the one talking and all that. I would really like a lot of us to communicate with me and, you know, your opinions and all that. It's us reasoning together. I don't know it all. Maybe you've got experiences. If you don't want me to mention your name, or, you know, just write whatever you want to type, whatever you want to type, and you know, use wisdom. You know what I mean? Use wisdom, okay? You know what? Use wisdom. Thank you very much. So, cheating in relationship. What's my Facebook name? My Facebook name is Owolomonse AIYEOLA OPEYEMI. It's Owolomonse AIYEOLA OPEYEMI. Okay? So, cheating in relationship. Why do people cheat? Now, what do you mean by cheating? Cheating, obviously, we all know cheating is when somebody is not being faithful, when you're in a relationship with somebody and now you're sort of seeing another person on the side without it, you know, without your main partner knowing, you know, secretive cheating and all that. Why do people cheat in relationship? Especially our men. I'm an African woman. It is so rampant with the men. You know, our men. Thank you, everybody who is sharing this video. I love you. God bless you. Thank you, everybody who is viewing, who is watching. It's just me here trying to encourage us and, you know, for us to learn from one another and make our relationship healthier and better for us. Okay, cheating in relationship. Why do people cheat? Why do you think people cheat? What makes our men cheat? Okay, so different people think, okay, different people cheat. I'm sorry, Instagram. I'm sorry, Instagram. I'm sorry, Instagram. I just had to quickly block somebody here who's used a language that is not acceptable by me. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, so cheat. Why do people cheat? Why do men cheat? I'm not saying both men and women cheat, but why is it that people cheat? Why do you think people cheat? How can we strengthen our sisterhood, putting our insecurities aside and standing by one another? Please let us know that we can be stopped. Now, please show us your kids. Unfortunately, kids aren't available to be shown tonight. Okay, now, why do people cheat? Why do our men cheat? Now, I cannot say there are so many reasons why people cheat. Some of the reasons that I am aware of, I know people cheat. It could be due to sexual dissatisfaction amongst couples, you know, sexual dissatisfaction. Maybe a married couple, you know, your partner, you feel you're not sexually satisfied. Your partner is not doing it the way you want it done. You're not even having it at all, you know, or, you know, especially when couples, newlywed couples are always very okay sometimes, but especially couples who've been married for a while, it becomes sort of, you know, it becomes like a spiral kind of trend with sexual satisfaction amongst couples. Happy Sunday to you too. Oh, thank you, Flaky, for adding me. God bless you. So now this is the thing. I think sexual dissatisfaction, you know, is one of those reasons why people cheat. When their partners is not satisfying them sexually, they go out and cheat. Say, for example, a woman, your husband wants to have, you know, intimacy with you, and today you're tired, tomorrow you're tired. Or even a man, your wife wants to be intimate with you, today you're tired, tomorrow you're tired, or you feel she just does not appeal to you anymore, or the woman feels the man does not appeal to her anymore. It could result to cheating. That partner definitely everybody needs sexual satisfaction. That is one of the reasons why we get married. It's part of the reasons why we get married, where we join ourselves together so that we can satisfy one another sexually. You know, and I know we have different levels and libidos, you know, different levels of sexual, you know, levels and all that. If you don't do it exactly the way your partner wants it done, you can't add me, Ify, babe, yeah, your name is not coming up. You can't add me, Owolomonse AIYEOLA OPEYEMI. You can't add me, I've over, you know, exceeded my friend request. You can add me on Messenger. Send a request to me by Messenger. Okay, thank you very much for liking my family. Now, sexual dissatisfaction. What can one do if one's partner keeps accusing them of cheating? I'll come back to that. So, sexual dissatisfaction. If you do not satisfy one another sexually, there's a tendency for the man or the woman to go out and have it done somewhere else. Okay? And also, if you do not, this is not even not having it done, if you do not do exactly, make your partner feel right, make them feel satisfied sexually. You know, you want to do, you do 5 minutes, your husband or your wife does not like it done that way, or your husband or your wife wants it done in a particular way, and it comes back to communication. I don't know why couples cannot communicate. Sexually, we are adults, we are married. Is your husband, she's your wife. You should be able to communicate even during the act of sex. You should be able to tell your partner what you want sexually, how you want to be touched, where you want to be touched. You know, everybody needs to be, both parties need to be satisfied sexually. It is not just for one party to have it done and be satisfied and be okay with it, and the other party is not satisfied. You need to try and meet one another halfway. Okay? So, sexual dissatisfaction is huge. It's huge. It's huge. I don't know why couples shy away from it. I really don't understand why. What can you do if your partner is cheating? So these are the things. If your partner is cheating, the first thing is you need to communicate with your partner. You need to know what the problem is first. You need to try and know why is that partner cheating, whether it's a man or it's a woman that's cheating. You need to know why. And I know sexual dissatisfaction is very, very huge. It's almost up, it's almost up there on the list. And couples need to communicate, even in the act of sex. When having sex, it's important that couples communicate, talk to one another, let one another know what you want done to you. And don't forget that the only constant thing in life, even in your marriage, in your relationship, in your union, is change. People change. Okay, people change. Because your wife or your husband used to like it this way 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, does not mean they still like it the same way now. Okay. Hello, AIYEOLA. My brother, how are you, darling? How are you? AIYEOLA in the house. God bless you. Thanks for joining me. So, because your husband or your wife used to like it missionary style or whatever before, now 2 years down the line, you know, things change. I don't know. People want to experiment and try new things. Okay, some people just say me hi. Definitely, God bless you, my brother. You know, people change. You need to be able to communicate even during the act of sex. I'm married. I'm a married woman. If you're in a relationship with anybody, I don't know why you cannot talk to your husband or to your wife during the act of sex. I don't know what is wrong. Why? I hear a lot of people saying they don't talk. Why can't you talk? Communication is very important. Not talking about it, you don't get satisfied. You get dissatisfied. Your husband doesn't talk about it. He doesn't get satisfied. He's going to go out and meet somebody who is ready to talk about it with him. Who's going to be ready to ask him what he wants done. Or she's going to go out and find out, you know, go to somebody who is going to ask her. Communication during the act of sex helps. It helps you know your partner. It helps you know any new thing they've picked up. You know, the world is changing. We all watch a lot of movies. We watch a lot of things. We hear a lot of things. You know, we want to try different things. Do not shy away from it. Don't shy away from it. Somebody is saying, I love official is saying rubbish. I don't know if it's rubbish, but I know it is important. Men in the house, please bear me witness. You want a lot of things. Don't now. This is not now to say that, because I remember I used to have somebody who says her husband was requesting her to do some things, you know, that she just couldn't see herself doing. Okay, this is not to say that you have to do everything sexually your partner wants. Okay, but you guys can communicate about it, talk about it, discuss it. That is one of the reasons why you are married. Discuss it. If there's anything your husband wants done and you feel you cannot do, you just when sex comes, don't you think it's a way of distracting when sex comes? It is not. What kind of distraction is that? You're in the act of sex. Your wife wants your wife wants you to move her this way, lift her leg up there. What kind of distraction is that? As far as I'm concerned, it's not distraction. What kind of concentration do you want during sex? Sex, you need to talk to one another. You need to appreciate one another. Thank you very much if you added. God bless you. Please repost video on Facebook. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. I don't know. Please stop being too naive. And unfortunately, a lot of men and women who claim to be ignorant and naive are not. They are not. They are not. They are baddest. They are the baddest set of people. They know what they want. They want different things. Same cheating. There are so many things that leads to cheating. It's vice versa. I know most of the women side is covetousness, not contempt with what you have. Comparison as well as a problem. Of course, Rebbe, just to buy. I know I'm still coming back to that. We're still taking it one point at a time. We are still discussing on sexual dissatisfaction. I see, because some men are not content. I know I see a lot of couple. They don't even know how to communicate with one another. They are not friends. Stop being formal, Mr. and Mrs. Be friends. Be one another's friends. You know what you can share with your friends, share with your husband, share with your wife. In the area of sex, tell your husband, tell your wife what you want. And meet yourself halfway. It necessarily does not mean because I want my husband to do this to me. And my husband say, oh, you know what, baby, I can't. I really can't. Then we need to sort of meet ourselves halfway. Meet ourselves halfway, please. Because this is the thing, you want to keep your home. A man wants to keep his home. A woman wants to keep her home. You need to, if you don't do it, and this is the bitter truth, women and men, there is, like I said last week, and I'll continue to say, you don't have another you. There can never be another you. God is so unique in creating us. He is the most unique creator. There can never be another OPEYEMI, AIYEOLA, okay? But there can be a better me. There can be a better me. So there can never be another you, but there can be a better you. If you don't give it to your husband, if you don't do it right by your husband, somebody else is going to give it to your husband. Somebody else is going to do it right. And I tell you, no matter the amount of fasting and prayer that you do, if that man leaves you because of sexual dissatisfaction for the other woman, I'm telling you, they will have a good home. Okay? They will have a good home. This is not a matter of she has stolen my husband or he has stolen my wife. Nobody is stealing anybody. It is except there is jazz involved. Except there is the mago spiritual thing involved. Okay? Nobody steals anything. Your husband goes to this woman, they begin to like themselves, and your husband will decide on his own. It's a personal decision to go leave you, and for this woman, he's going to make up his mind. Or your wife leaves you for a particular man. Nobody has stolen anybody from you because you are unable or you refuse. Some people, men or women, because of religious belief or whatever ignorance, they say, I don't know. If you don't do it, there can never be a second you. There can be a better you. And take it from me, there is grace. If you and I can be alive, we are sinners, okay? We are sinners. If we can be alive out of mercy and grace will hold that marriage together. How many women have lost their husbands? Or how many husbands have lost their wives to other women or to other men, and they are having wonderful homes? No matter the amount of prayer and fasting, I am telling you, they will have good homes. If you don't keep your home together because you're shying away, you're playing ignorant, you're playing holier than thou, you refuse to communicate with your partner on the area of sex and satisfy one another sexually, okay? And that person goes out to have it done with somebody else, and they actually enjoy somebody who actually understands them, who is ready to communicate with them, who is ready to treat them right, is going to be your bad. Communication is key. I don't know what, Mom, please, where would I get the form to enter your active? Please, Ododo Clothing 17, DM me, inbox me, send me a personal private message if you need any information about the acting group, either the one in London or in Nigeria. To God be the glory, we started the one in London on Saturday and it was awesome. I'm going to share the video. Hello, Ipsy. So Muiwa said, can I ask a question? Of course you can ask a question. Muiwa 3012. Don't play only in your marriage. I'm not saying play only in your marriage is going to be your bad. Okay, it's going to be your bad. This is not to say, now get me right, this is not to say that you have to do everything. I hear a lot of women, I've heard women say, I'm going to be my husband's slut. I'm going to be a slut for him. Hell no. My own, I'm not going to be nobody's slut. I'm not going to be nobody's prostitute. Okay, you are not a prostitute. A slut or a prostitute is somebody, you know, now it's in some country it's it's like a registered, you know, well, profession. But a slut or a prostitute is somebody you actually pay, you don't have emotions for, you just go there and it's just the sex. It's like a profession. You just go, you go, you buy sex and you leave. Don't be one another's prostitute or slut. Because a slut, you know, you pay and you have anything done. You don't need to communicate. You can treat a slut or a prostitute anyhow, anyway. I hear ladies say, I'm going to be my husband's slut. I'm going to be a prostitute for him. I'm going to be a slut. No, you're not. And vice versa. And your husband is not going to be your slut or your prostitute because you're not. A slut is somebody how many times do you think partners can have sex in a week? Now, somebody has just asked me, how many times do I think partners can have sex in a week? As many times as they want. One another want it. I don't have how many times I have to have sex with my husband in a week. We do it when we feel like. If he feels like, and I don't feel like, you know, we have a way of communicating and, you know, we let it by. I don't think you need to put a date or a time or a calendar to it. Aside from couples who are actually going through production, couples looking for the fruit of the womb, that they actually have to put date and time to it. That's a different thing. You know, when you're looking for the fruit of the womb and you're on some medications, you have to put date and time to the time you actually mate with one another. Okay? Apart from that, why should you have to put a time to it? It's when your body calls for it. Why? You're married. But obviously, when children are there, when, you know, I can compare the time I was single with my husband. When myself and my husband, we were still single. You know, we could just hang out anywhere in the house, anywhere, you know. But now that we have children, that can be done. So we have our ways. You don't put a time. I don't think you should put a calendar to it. Except you have to. Except it is important, it is essential. Hello, Rivi, how are you? Except you have to. So, my dear, don't put a time to it. Don't put a time to the time you have sex with your partner, with your husband or with your wife. When your body calls for it, have it done. Okay? Have it done. Now, another thing, I hear women, or have heard of women, is still discussing what if the woman doesn't feel like. Of course, if you don't feel like, there are times, see, we're all human beings. Somebody just asked me, what if a woman does not, if you don't feel like, you don't feel like. But now, this is one thing about relationship, compromise. This is the thing about relationship. You need to be able to compromise. Okay, you don't feel like today. You know, you communicate with your husband, communicate with your partner. 1 minute, Buki Shole. Communicate with your husband, communicate with your wife, with your partner, you know, about, oh, baby, or darling, whatever you call yourself. You know, I don't feel like, do other things. Do you have to really engage in sexual, pure, physical sexual act before you satisfy your partner? That's another thing. Do couples actually need to do the, you know, penetration and everything before you satisfy your partner? If you don't feel like, do other things to one another. Find other ways to satisfy one another sexually. Please. You know, and if your partner does not feel like, wives and husbands understand that maybe they are tired. They can be genuinely tired. Okay, a very good example is me. Myself and my husband. I've just drove over 6 hours. I actually drove 6 hours, 35 minutes from London to Glasgow today. Now I'm here, and ASAP, I'm live. I'm going to, finish up at 11. For goodness sake, I might be super tired. This is not to say that I'm going to be tired. But what if, just imagine I'm super tired and I can't, and he wants it, and I'm super tired because I've been the one driving. And I'm super tired. Okay? So he needs to understand. He needs to understand that I am tired. Okay? He needs to understand that, look, babe, I'm tired. Okay? You need to understand your partner. But now you're tired today, you're tired tomorrow, you're tired for the next 1 month. That's not fair. That's not fair on your partner. When you married him, when you married her, you said you were going to share one another's bodies with one another. What if woman does not like sex at all? Now, Kolawole, somebody has just asked me, what if the woman does not like sex at all? Now, this is the thing. If you're married to somebody who is not so much into sex, okay? Now, you need to communicate with one another. Why? What do you do to her or to him that puts him off, that puts her off? Sex. These are the things. Couples don't communicate. Communicate with one another. What is that thing you're doing that puts her off? Ask her, is it painful to her? Does it hurt her? Afterward, does she feel terrible? Does she feel sick? These are the things you need to communicate and find out. Look, for every problem, there is a source. For every problem, there is a source. You need to try and find out the source. Some women, it is sad to say, but some women have been put off sex. Temitayo Rukayat Badmus, God bless you. Bless you so much. Please, everybody on Facebook, help me share this video. God bless you. I appreciate you all, everybody. I appreciate you for tuning in, for joining me, for listening to me, for, for engaging with me. God bless you so much. Now, you need, for every problem, if your woman or your husband has got, sexual problems, for every problem, there is a source. You need to try and go through to the root, to the source of that problem. Some people need psychological treatment. Say, for example, your man or your woman, she's been abused a long time ago when she was quite young or very, very young. Things like that can put a woman or a man off sex. Okay, so you need to try and communicate. I'm pregnant but feeling bad for my husband because I'm just tired of sex for now. Ipsy, no, I'll quickly run through this, then go back to your question. Now, some women are just, you need to communicate. That's why I say communication is super, super important in anything, in a relationship. If you people don't talk to one another, if you do not befriend one another, don't be formal husband and wives. Stop being mommy, lagbaja, daddy, tamedu. Please stop it. Stop it. Be one another's friend. Communicate with one another. Talk to one another. Talk about it. Okay? You need to find out the source of that problem. If it's that every time you do it with her or with him or with her specifically, it's painful, you need to let her talk to you. If it's painful, you need to try and look for ways to do it in such a way it is not painful. You can see, God bless the internet. You can Google stuff that you can use to make, or go to your GP or your doctor or whatever and ask, or try and do it gently and calmly. Just why should a woman be enduring sex that should be enjoyed? Or a man? Maybe the man, you can only last for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, but unfortunately your woman still wants to go further and you feel you're not satisfying her, very well. What can you do? Communicate with one another. Try and do something else. Touch one another. Sometimes it's not all about penetration. It's not all about actually doing the act of sex. If you actually touch, if you take time for foreplay and you touch one another, it can last a long time. The bottom line is you have to be able to communicate. Now, somebody has just asked me, a question that she's pregnant because she's pregnant, and a lot of pregnant women, I've been there, so we know we are always tired. Some pregnant women are super overactive when they're pregnant, but some of us are just not like that. Okay, in that kind of situation, your husband needs to understand with you. Okay, you need to be able to talk. Obviously, he understands. I'm sure your husband is loving. Bad network. Hey, yeah, sorry about that. I'm sure your husband is loving. Your husband needs to understand you're pregnant, but even at that, you guys need to communicate and you need to find other ways to satisfy one another. Safe ways. Cheat on you. Your partner says he loves you, but still cheats on you, even if you try to satisfy. No, I am not saying sexual satisfaction. Some women say, I satisfy him sexually. I give him sex every time. I give her sex every time she wants it. I give her sex is not the only reason why people cheat. It's just one of those reasons. It's just one of those reasons. It's not the only reason. Okay? It's just one of those reasons why people cheat. Okay? So now I'm going to move on to another reason why people cheat. So the key line is communication during sex, communication with your partner, understanding when one another is tired, and understanding ways you can actually satisfy one another without necessarily doing the act of sex or penetration. Okay, that is very, very important. Let us grow up. What is all this thing now? Let us grow up. Why are we people always behaving holier than thou, like that? Please. Holier than thou where? Please, let's stop it. And let us remember, let me tell you, I will continue to say it. There can never be another me. There can never be another OPEYEMI, but there can be a better me. So if I say I'm not going to give it to him, there can be a better me. If my husband leaves me because of that, for another person, that other person will be a better me. And if I lose that marriage because of that reason, okay, it's my bad and it's on me. It's going to be on me and it's my bad. Because let me tell you, that man is going to be happy in his new marriage or in his new home. It is not in your hands. For anybody's happiness is not in your hands. Okay, somebody's just saying, what if it's painful? If it's painful, I've just said it. If the act of sex with your partner is painful, communicate with one another. Let him know that it's painful. Let him know how you feel so that he can adjust. Some men or some women, they get wet, then they get dry, then they get wet, then they get dry. If that is your own situation, you can do so many. Get lubricants. Lovely ones. Lovely. Go buy it. It's cheap. Buy lovely lubricants. There are even lubricants that smell so nice. They smell so nice. Some lubricants smell so nice. I've heard of people who say they like even rub. I cannot. I'm not. They say they love it, Ask your woman what another man's meat is another man's poison, I've heard people who say, oh, when you use this rub on me, it cools, it's painful. I like the pain and the pleasure and all that. Things like that. Please, let's stop being ignorant. Let's stop playing naive. Let's stop playing holier than thou. Please, don't lose that home. Don't lose that wonderful man. Don't lose that wonderful woman because you're just being, I don't know. What about folks who are shy when it comes to certain things? This is the problem. How can you be shy with your partner? You can be shy. Like anybody who has met me one-on-one knows I can be a bit of an introvert. I can be super shy. I'm not very shy when it comes to, obviously not being in the crowd in front of the camera. I'm used to it. It's my job. I'm used to it. But when it comes to facing the crowd, being in front of the crowd and blah, blah, I have to really gather myself together. So I can be a bit shy. But can I be shy with my husband? I can't. Discussion is about cheating in relationship. Queen Fumex has just joined on Instagram. And she's asking what we're discussing about is cheating, and we've just been discussing about sexual dissatisfaction. Inadequate sex in marriage is a cause of cheating, okay, as a cause of cheating. So please, if it's painful, let your partner know. Communicate with your partner. And you cannot afford to be shy. How can you be shy with one another? I beg. What? Your body is his body. His body is your body. So why are you shy of your body? You cannot afford to be shy with your husband, with your wife, with your partner. No, you can't. You can't. You can't afford to be shy. My barrister is in the house. God bless you, Barrister Cook. God bless you. Just join in, please. What's the topic? We're discussing cheating, reasons people cheat. Why do people cheat? And I've just been discussing about sexual dissatisfaction. Motolani Olayinka Balogun, thanks for joining. Sexual dissatisfaction in relationship. Okay, please, we cannot afford to be shy, so I need to move on. Finance. Finance is another huge reason why people cheat. Finance. Oh, you've not really missed Ferrami. God bless you. So finance, inadequate finance, or / contentment. Okay, inadequate finance / contentment. Okay, I'm going to take inadequate finance first. Look, let me tell you something. Whether you and I want to believe it or not, money is very important in relationship. Sorry, Kemi Bello, baby, me come on, me caution kick that show momu dada. God bless you, my sister. Finance is important. Please, men and women, no relationship can stand without finance, exchanging hands. Finance, money must exchange hands. You know, Saturday was the first meeting with my London group. I've got OPEYEMI AIYEOLA drama group in London now. So this past Saturday was our first meeting. And we were talking. I was telling somebody that when I was much younger, it's still my motto, you know. And I used to tell my friends, love without money is 419. And they all laughed and are like, oh, really, love without money is 419. It's true. Let me tell you something. This is not to say, unfortunately, a lot of women believe that it is only the men that needs to drop the money. That is not it. There may also be underlying medical reasons for both male and females in terms of intimate relationship. No, yes, Bola Ladi Bolu Ilesame is just, or she, sorry, has just mentioned that there can also be underlying medical reasons why male and females do not, you know, get satisfied. Reason for many in terms of intimate relationship, of course. So if you feel yours is medical, you need to check it out. You need to check it out. So we're talking about finance, okay? We're talking about finance / contentment. Good. Now we will talk about finance first. Let me tell you something. Love without money is 419. Now, this is contrary to the general belief a lot of women have that it is only the man that needs to spend money in relationship. That is a capital no. Money must change hands in relationship. You must give and receive from both parties. Why is money important in relationship? I will tell you why money is important in relationship. Money is important in relationship. Now, this is why. Money is used to run the home. Money is, you give gifts during the time of birthdays, special occasions, and all that, whether you're celebrating anything or not. Money is used to run the children. You need money to pay school fees, to take care of these children. Money is used to pick bills in the house, to pay bills. Okay? Money is important in every relationship. Okay? Money, owo is super important in every relationship. You're going to run your relationship with funds, with finance. Now, if one party is stingy with their finance, it makes things difficult. Or if there is lack of money, Now, this is where I sort of slashed it, financial and contentment. Okay? A lot of our women or our men, I will not just say women alone, though people say it's common amongst the women. Men do cheat. And they cheat not because of sexual dissatisfaction, they cheat because of money as well. Men do date women, other women aside, cheat on their wives, and they're dating these women solely to get money from them as well. So it is not just a woman thing. I do not know the percentage of men who cheat because of money or women. It's just that it's sort of more celebrated when it is, the part of the woman. It is more celebrated. It is more out there when it's a woman that is involved. But how many men date women because of their money and it's celebrated on social media and everything and everything and everything? Okay, Sarah, you love to join the London group. Please send me a message. I'll reply. Anybody that wants to join the London group or the Nigerian OPEYEMI AIYEOLA group, please send me a message. I will reply. Not tonight. I'll try and reply. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, money and contentment. Now, I'll first talk about people who are stingy. Men and women who are stingy with their money. And they never share. Okay, Instagram. And they never share. Money must change hands. Of course, Aderonke Rebecca Alabi, Olajide, God bless you. You cannot run a relationship without money. Husbands, you cannot afford to be stingy to your wives. It's unfair. And you are giving room for the devil. You're giving room for cheating. Because that woman needs money to run, to help out with the bills, to help out with her own bill, with collective family bills, with children bills. And unfortunately, I will not lie to you, a lot of men out there will not help. If you let your woman go to men for favor, they will not help without having intimate relationship with any woman who goes to seek for assistance. That is a topic for another day. I am yet to see a Jesus Christ that is there. I will just feel the 5,000 free of charge. I am yet to see. Even amongst religious gatherings, I am telling you, you will be shocked. You give your woman the chance to go and seek for financial favor from a woman. Or women, you have this money, you're not supporting your husband. You give your husband the chance to go and seek financial favor from a rich woman. She will request for intimate relationship. I will repeat myself. I'm going to be 40 this year. In my years of maturity, I have not come across. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe I've just been one of those few unlucky ones. I have not come across somebody that is ready to help. When I say help, I mean properly help you without asking for your body. Okay? So please, let's not try and put our women or our men in situations. Amy is still going back on the way of sex. I've talked about sex. We'll recap later and moved on to finance now, contentment. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Let's be factual. Let's be truthful to one another. Let's be truthful. Jesse Brewer, God bless you. Let's be truthful with one another. Please. I am saying this from experience. In my years, I have never seen a Jesus Christ that will feed the 5,000 for free. I think that has died during the time of Jesus. When people went there and they were hungry and he fed the 5,000 for free. Me, I have not seen. I'm not talking about meat and bread and rice and things. How many of us can go to our religious leaders? How many of us that we've been there? How many of us can go there for proper financial assistance and we get it? How many of us can go to our very close friends, even our so-called uncles, people we look up to as uncles, and they don't request for our bodies or something else? You'll be shocked. It's just that a lot of us, we cannot say out. Let's be truthful. So let us help one another financially. We cannot afford to be stingy with one another when we are in a relationship. It is going to open doors for cheating. Okay? And unfortunately, when you let that woman go cheat and she goes to cheat, unfortunately, she gets to meet somebody, she's cheating, who loves her, who falls in love and is ready to give her proper financial assistance, she's going to move on. And you're going to lose that home. Now, in the area of contentment, struck with contentment, we have to be contented. Somebody has just asked me, what if a woman has more income than the man and yet not helping with the bills? Unfortunately, that is not fair and that is not right. There are men who make more money than their wives. So in that kind of situation, the men, they are the ones who carry more of the bills. Now, in the situation where the women are the ones making more money, you carry the bills and support. Some men will send their wives to Europe to suffer. At the end, they both cheat on each other. Of course, Montreal, that is another way, that's distance. Let me tell you, please, men and women, we cannot afford to be stingy in our relationship. You're stingy with your husband, you're stingy with your wife, you're giving room for cheating. And you will be blamed for it. You will carry your cross alone. I cannot stand couples who are stingy to one another. Why? Why? Why can you not share and help one another? You are there to support one another. You are there to support one another. It's not only supporting sexually. It's not only supporting, I'm there, I'm Mrs. Somebody, I'm wearing gele, I'm tying gele, I'm wearing anko. That's not why you're married. That's not why we get married. Thank you very much, Flaky B. Thank you, Emmy. That's not why. You should share your finance together. But I understand some women or some men, when the partner is not ready, they know you have the money and you are stingy with your money, they will be stingy with you as well. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Of course. We cannot afford to be stingy with one another, please, men and women. You are stingy with your partner, you're leaving room for cheating. Now, we'll go on to the area of contentment. Some men and some women are just not contented. There's nothing you can do. They are Oliver Twist. They want more and more and more and more. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with people like that, there is nothing you can do. It's a personal decision. It's a self-thing decision. If you're not contented, there's nothing you can do. If your partner is not contented, unfortunately, there is minimal thing you can do. Everybody needs to appreciate what you have. You must be contented with it. You must work through it together. You want to live a better life. You want to, move on to the next level. Walk through to the next level together. Plan it together. Plan it together. What about spouse who have joint and the woman doesn't have a say? Now, is this joint? I guess Omo and Natural is trying to say joint account. Joint account. Now, for somebody I just said, couples who have joint accounts and do not have and the woman does not have a say in the joint account. That is a capital N. Oh, yeah, I know you meant joint account. Now, let me tell you what I feel about couples having joint account. It's a good thing. Jessie says she personally does not encourage support joint account. No, you can have joint account. Now, another thing that I would tell our couples is very, very important, whether you want to accept it or not, you want to, accept it with me or not. When you are entering into any relationship, okay, any relationship, and I repeat, any relationship, it could be marital relationship, it could be love relationship, it could be friendship, it could be religious relationship, it could be financial relationship, it could be any kind of relationship. Kush Fadeke, God bless you. Nice icon, God bless you. It could be any relationship. Please, my Facebook fans, God bless you. Please share this video, God bless you. Ajoke Arishikola, God bless you. Please share. Now, any type of relationship you are entering into with anybody, please, do not be ignorant of the devices of the enemy. We are in the end times. Let me tell you something, whether you guys want to accept it or not, the love of many is waxing cold, and it's still continuing to wax cold. Okay, there's nothing we can do about it. This is just the times we live in. We're living in perilous times. This is just the times we live in. When you're entering into any relationship with anybody, go into it with your heart and with your brain. Please, any relationship, you need two things, very important. You go into your marital relationship, you go into your marriage, you go into that love affair, you go into that friendship, you go into it with your heart. You need your heart. As you know, babe, no, you've not missed a lot. You need to go in there with your heart and with your brain. Now, I'll tell you why you need both. Very important. You cannot go into a relationship with just your heart. Correct pepe. And you cannot go into a relationship with just your brain. You get your partner miserable and get yourself miserable. You need to go into every relationship with your heart and with your brain. Single ladies, when you're getting, or single men, when you are going into that marriage, go in there with your heart and with your brains open. A lot of couples who have been separated now or divorced or whatever, they are suffering now because they went into that relationship with the 100% of their heart and they went with just 20% of their brain. In other words, shine your eye. No, it's not even all about shine your eye. Of course, you have to shine your eye in every situation. We're living in perilous times, whether you and I want to accept it or not. Even the Quran says it, the Bible says it, everything says this is perilous times. Inu deji, you do not know any human being 100%. Even God, we marvel him. Sometimes they say he looked down and he shook his head and he was like, oh my days. Even God, we marvel our Creator with our behavior. If God can look down and be marveled, what about us human beings? Please go into that relationship with your heart and with your brain. Now, what do you need your heart for? You need your heart because you need to give that person your 100%. Okay? When you're in a relationship, it's like every other relationship or every other stage of life. It's going to have its good times and it's going to have its bad times. You need your heart to be in that relationship to be able to walk through the bad time with your partner. You need to be there 100% to be able to support one another, to be able to irradiate love, to be able to express and radiate love and make one another happy. You need your heart in that relationship so that you to be able to be contented with what you have. So that you don't just see this and you want to go with it again. You see that and you want to be like that. You see Mrs. Kenneth and you want to be like that. You need your heart in that relationship to be able to forgive your partner. You need your heart to be able to forgive one another in that relationship. Because if your heart is not there, you will not be able to forgive one another. The only reason why God can forgive us is because his heart is always with us. He loves us dearly. You need your heart to be in that relationship that when we step on one another's toes, we can forgive and let go and move on. If your heart is not there, you will not be able to forgive. We need our heart in that relationship so that when the wind blows that relationship, when troubles and trials come, your heart will make you stand firm with that person. You need your heart to be able to pray for one another. You need your heart to be able to pray and support one another spiritually. Okay, we need your heart in that relationship. It is your heart that stays with that woman that you married at size 8. And because she's now beginning to have children for you, she's now blown into a size 18, size 20. If your heart is not there, 100% in that relationship, that woman will look like a stranger to you. You will not appreciate that woman. Now you need your heart to be in that relationship so that when that breast begins to sag, Or you begin to have those stretch marks you get from pregnancy or whatever you get from pregnancy. You will still look at your wife and say, oh my God, you are beautiful. You need your heart. It is your heart that stays with you when that man that used to have so much money, and used to spoil you with so much, does not have any more. And you guys need to now struggle hard together. It is your heart that will make you stay with him or with her. You need your heart in that relationship, because so that when that man that you married, I don't know what men's sizes are, maybe say for example, you married him in size 10, now he's blown up and is a size 20. It is your heart that will make you look at him and see him as, oh my God, you are my handsome. You need your heart in that relationship so that when that sickness comes and disfigures you, or disfigures your partner, or that accident comes, or that incident comes, and it has disfigured that person physically, or crippled that person physically, it is your heart that will make you stay. If your heart is not there, when we see couples who leave one another because of some problem or another, or because of deformation or whatever, or trials and tribulations, their heart has moved on. Their heart, or they never even went there with their heart in the first place. So the heart is very important for everybody to take into any relationship you get into, especially marital relationship or love affair. You need your heart, because we will change. Size 20. It's true. You need your heart. Now, this is why you need your brain. You need your brain to go into that relationship. So that when you enter into that relationship, you know your husband or your wife has got money more than you, and all they do is keep their own money to do things for themselves only. And you pour all your money in that relationship. If that relationship, God forbid, goes south, and you have not used your brain to save for rainy day and save for yourself, acquire your own wealth, you and the children will suffer. You need your brain. I see a lot of wonderful women do not suffer the way our mothers have suffered, though, and they have regretted. And they've been left penniless. Now, let me give you a wonderful example. I've said it before on Instagram. I'm going to say it again live on Facebook. Couples who have joint accounts. Now, everybody needs to be fair. If you know you have a joint account, or you want to open a joint account, your husband's request or your wife requests you open a joint account, there is no problem there. But you open your brain when you're opening that joint account with your partner. It is not that you love one another less. It is not that you don't trust one another. But please appreciate the fact that we live in perilous times. We are living in the end times. We are living at the time when the love of so many men and women are waxing cold. Even love between brothers, biological brothers, are waxing cold. Not to talk of somebody you just met and you love yourself and you enter into a relationship. Even love of parents to children are waxing cold. We are at the time now. It ain't changing. That is the time we live in now. Please, open your brain. I have seen men who have regretted it. Opening joint accounts and handing their finance over to their wives. I have seen women who are regretting and suffering now. Who because they left their finance and they trusted their husband so much and they just poured everything. And they're suffering because they are now left penniless. Never say never. Any relationship can go sour. We are all trying our best and praying hard and working hard so it does not go sour. Okay? Open your brain. Please. You want to open a joint account with your husband or with your wife? No problem. Okay, you people need to sit back and communicate. Look at your income. Look at your husband's income. Now decide on how much you'll be putting into that joint account. Carlos, this is, I don't think they've got any good heart again. I'm just commenting from experience. I know, Motolani, unfortunately. This is why I've been telling people you need to open your heart and your brain. Now you open this joint account. You need to sit down and communicate, okay? You need to sit down and communicate. Now the best way to have a joint account is you make sure you both have access to that joint account. Any account you open and only one partner has got access to it, it is not a joint account. It is not a 50-50 account. It is not a fair joint account. Okay? You need to have access to it, both of you. Income me, you have to say income wa. When you say income wa, it means our thing is different from my thing. So this is our thing. We have to be involved. Now, never open an account putting Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja, or never buy a property putting Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja. I will tell you what, anybody can be Mr. Lagbaja, anybody can be Mrs. Lagbaja. Okay? Now, say for example, I'm just going to give you an example. You want to open a joint account. Okay, open a joint account for Mr. AIYEOLA Babatunde Owolomonshe and Mrs. OPEYEMI Iyaduni Owolomonshe. Okay, there can never be any other Mrs. OPEYEMI Iyaduni Owolomonshe, even if there is any other Mrs. OPEYEMI Owolomonshe. And put your correct date of birth there. Safeguard yourself. Okay, now both of you should be signatories to the account. One person must not have access to the account only. You need to put a minimum limit on the account that you know that well. Say for example, the account has got a card. You need to put a minimum limit to the account. The minimum limit you know that you can do away with. Say for example, my husband goes to withdraw £300 from the account. He's not going to really shake me, isn't it? I said, okay, put minimum limit and alert me. And put an alert to it so that you receive an alert as well. Both parties should receive the alert. Please. Please. Okochuko ni hidden agenda. Abiyawochuko ni hidden agenda. We never say, oh, are you saying you don't trust me? No. If your husband is fair and truly loves you and has got no hidden agenda, they will roll with it exactly the way it is. And if the wife is fair and hasn't got any hidden agenda, she will roll with it and will not have any problem with it. It doesn't mean you love that person less or you trust that person less. You just have to use your brain and be smart. Say, for example, I've seen a lot of women who have invested in their husband's property while they're having property done, built and all that. They invested so much time, so much effort, so much money, everything in that property. But unfortunately, when everything goes bad, they lose everything. Nobody's paying them back because the property is not even in their name. It hasn't got their name on it. And they say, we are bidding for the children now. We are bidding for the children. Which children? Put the children's name then on the property. If you and your husband, you're building a property for your children or for your future, put your children's name. Then we know the property does not legally belong to either of you. It belongs to the children legally. But if it is a property that's supposed to belong to you as a family, and you are investing your time and your effort and your finance into whatever thing you are investing into, some women, it's not even their finance, it's their time, their labor, physical labor. I've heard of wonderful mothers who have labored. They didn't have money at the time their husband was building whatever he was building. But they labored. They went to carry the cement and carry the yoni and carry the sand and carry the rocks and carry. And they went to be like laborers. At the end of the day, things go south between mommy and daddy. And mommy lost out in everything. Can you imagine a case where one person has got online on the joint account and the other doesn't have access, what do you do? How can you? That is not a joint account. That's not a fair joint account. Everybody must have access to it. If it's joint, if your partner is not ready to do it, both of you must have access online access to the account. You must have alert to the account. You must both have cards to the account. You must decide on a limit on the account that can be withdrawn without the other party signing. You must set a limit that, look, if you're withdrawing more than you look at your finance, you look at what you feel you can lose out or what you feel you can do away with. If I feel £300 is too much for me to lose, you put a clause on the account. Anybody that wants to collect £300 I must sign. If I do not sign, no money is leaving this account. It is important, please. Please. If not, God forbid, anything happens, the party who has invested is going to lose out. And the party is going to suffer. This has got nothing with prayer and fasting. People perish, people suffer because they lacked wisdom. Or they have it, they refuse to use it, or they are scared to use it. Please. Now, in the area of property, you want to do a family property. Why? Put Mr. and Mrs. If you're investing whatever you are investing into that property, or if your husband is saying, oh, this property is a family thing. Some women, it's not that they actually sold financially into that property, but you know, the couple will have an agreement that, you know what, babe, while I am building that property in Nigeria, wherever, in London, wherever we are building that property, you take care of the house bills, the household bills, so that I can use my own money to do the property there. And the woman will say, why not? I would foot the bills. Don't worry. You concentrate all the money you've got, put it on the property. Shebi lay one, and Shebi is for us. It's for our children, for our future. Women, if you are doing that, or men, if you are doing that, make sure that that property has got the name of both of you. And I'm not even saying Mr. and Mrs. Because let me tell you something. Anybody can be Mr. Anybody can be Mrs. So. That is why you see a lot of men or a lot of women. If your husband buy you a car, because you are not together anymore, he can take away that car because the car is not in your name. It does not have your name on it. Is this property? Something that does not legally have your name on it is not your own. Legally. It is not your own. Even if you put the plate number and it's Kinikan, my sweetheart, honorable sweetheart. Anybody can come and be honorable sweetheart. The vehicle papers doesn't have your name, is not legally yours. You are borrowing and posing with another person's property. And it can be taken off you and given to somebody else. Full name. And anybody can be Mrs. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to put your name. It's going to be Mr. and Mrs. So. If you are out of the way, another Mrs. that comes back is our own. Anybody can be Mrs. You write your name, balaga bold, for everybody to see. Any husband or wife that does not have any hidden agenda, that is like this, will not say no to such a thing. And women, don't be scared, because this is the problem. Say, for example, God forbid, if anything happens, that person will suffer. That's why a lot of our mothers suffered. Because they did not use their wisdom, or they were too scared, or they were not enlightened. Wisdom is the principal thing. Above all, get understanding, please. In any relationship at all. Even with your friends. You and your friend, because we grew up together, we were brought up together. Or you and your brother, you and your sister, you want to do business. And you put your heart to it. Oh, she's my sister. She can never betray me. Never say never. If Cain can kill Abel. If Cain can kill Abel. Anybody can betray anybody. if Judas can betray Jesus. My Muslim brothers and sisters, please pardon me. I don't know much about the Quran, so I can't give an example from the Quran. Please pardon me. If you've got examples, please just give it. Let me know. Okay? Please, let us be wise. Let us be wise. Please, everybody, I really appreciate if you can share this video. God bless you. So that our people can learn, please. So that we all can learn. I beg you. I beg. I'm trying to do something here. I hope I get it. Yeah, I got it. Please.